Quarter past the hour now. 13 city schools in New York City are now offering students free birth control, including Plan B or the morning after pill. It's part of an expanding pilot program that started last year, and officials report there's been little resistance here in the big city. They say parents at those schools that are involved had the opportunity to opt out, but that only about 1 to 2% of the parents did opt out. The rest of students at those 13 schools can now get the pill, the morning after pill, for free, and they don't have to tell their parents if they do. By contrast, the morning after pill is an emergency contraceptive that's supposed to reduce the risk of pregnancy if taken within a few days after sex. And it has no effect on women who are already pregnant. There's no current estimate of the number of schools with similar programs, but a 2001 survey of some 25 school-based health centers found 30% of them did indeed provide access to emergency contraception. Well, there are clearly a lot of them out there. Joining us now, Fox News senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Of course, there are privacy concerns here.
Right.
And there are rights of parents concerns here as well.
Yes, there are. So let me make both arguments for you. The government's argument is there are 7,000 teenage pregnancies in the city of New York. These are
per year?
Per year.
Wow.
And obviously, the vast majority of these, probably 90% of them, are unplanned. And many of these are among the poor. The city ends up paying for the cost of the pregnancy and the cost frequently of the child care once the child is born. So from the city's point of view, anything it can do to deter the pregnancy will save taxpayer dollars. That's one argument. That's the mayor's argument, the Board of Education's argument. The other argument is that this is not a function for the city to get involved with, that the city is basically removing from parents the ability to regulate the behavior of their children, because these men and women receive these contraceptive devices. In the case of the girls, the morning after pill, an abortifacient is the word. It actually kills the fertilized egg by expelling it within a couple of days without the consent of the parents. Now, the same city law that allows that requires consent from parents for an ear piercing or a tattoo, but not for this kind of medication. The third issue is privacy. Children have the same rights of privacy that adults do, and the schools have no business interfering in the parent-child relationship in something as intimate as sexual activity. So that's where we are. As you said in the intro, nobody else is doing this on so broad a scale, and very few people are complaining about it.
Yeah, it's clearly not a problem with parents here in New York City. Is there a challenge to this? What are the concerns about this? There
probably will be a challenge to it. Some parent will probably say, you gave what to my daughter without my consent?
Could the kid go, could the teenager or whatever go to a free clinic, for instance, and get the same thing?
Yes. Yes.
Without consent?
Yes, the same
law.
So
the school's basically just doing for kids what they could do elsewhere?
Yes, yes. In my view, the laws are perverse, that they would require the consent for a tattoo or an ear piercing, but not for this. But some parent will say, you gave what to my child, I'm going to sue you for it, and then the court will have to rule on whether this does invade the parent-child relationship, whether it invades the privacy of the child, whether it's a proper function for government to interfere with this.
Legally speaking, if the parents were given the option to opt out, then would there be a legal leg to stand on? I guess it would depend on the circumstances.
That's a great question. When the parents opt out, they opt out of everything. When they opt in, they opt into everything. But they are not given notice for what the everything consists of.
Oh, really?
So if the parents opt in, the boys could get condoms, the girls could get birth control pills, the girls could get the abortifacient, and the parent wouldn't know. The school doesn't say, yesterday we gave your son condoms. Yesterday we gave your daughter birth control pills. Yesterday we gave your daughter a pill that will expel the fertilized eggs, so be aware of that. The school doesn't have to tell that to the parent. So the opting in still doesn't give specific notice to the parent or require specific approval from the parent for each of these contraceptive devices that the schools are giving out.
Very interesting. Thanks, Joe.